so great to be with all of you tonight. We welcome in Shabbat as we enjoy the beautiful weather that we're having, this beautiful spring weather, cold and rainy. As we're with a family, as a young woman is about to become a bat mitzvah, together with the Goldberg family, together with all of you and all of our different homes. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom. I'm here tonight with Molly May, who's our cantor soloist, Don McGahan, our music director. The Goldberg family is with us. And Olivia Tucker is our technology wizard. Shabbat Shalom to all of you. Molly?
Shabbat Shalom. I invite everybody to gather up your candles, whatever kind of candles you have, so we can light candles together with the Goldberg family, and your wine and your challah for the end of the service. Good to be with you.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm on page 11 of our prayer book for Ki Eshmerah Shabbat, and if you would please join me. Ki Eshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni, Ki Eshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni, Shabbat El Yishmereni, Ki Eshmerah Shabbat El Yishmereni.
Now turning to our candle lighting. If you have a book, we'll be on page 2.
Yeah, Brown.
Ready? The family will be leading us in candle lighting tonight. This is in honor of Nev becoming a bat mitzvah tomorrow morning.
Ready?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We continue with Shalom Aleichem.
Hang on, I lost you. There we are. Shalom Aleichem is on page 24, and Shabbat Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Borechem Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Barchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Tzedchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Continuing with the end of Psalm 99, Romemu. Sometimes we sing this when we are parading the Torah around, so kind of felt like singing this in celebration of Nev's bat mitzvah. Romemu Shabbat with light. We've greeted the Shabbat angels, and now we greet Shabbat and Shabbat's beauty as if Shabbat were a bride. Lecha Dodi on page 20. And when we get to the last verse, which is going to be verse 9, if you feel like it, you can rise and face the entrance of your home to welcome Shabbat. We'll be doing verses 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9.
When we're together in the sanctuary, we have an opportunity at this moment to wish one another Shabbat Shalom, to greet old friends, to introduce ourselves to other people. So if you'd like to take this opportunity to post a comment in the comment section on YouTube, say hello to someone, say hello to everyone, say Shabbat Shalom, say Mazel Tov to Nev. If you have any good news that you'd like to share, you can post it in there. Happen to know that it is the birthday, or it was the birthday this week, of 4 members of our congregation: Carol Lehman, Nancy Rosenthal, Janet Fremkin, and Helen Ornger. So happy birthday to all 4 of you. If you have any other news to share, please post it and take a moment to wish one another Shabbat Shalom. And then we'll continue with Tzaddik Katamar.
And Shabbat Shalom once again. The psalm for Shabbat is Psalm 92. It's on page 22. We'll be doing the indented portion of the page with Tzaddik Katamar, and even though we are in our own places, we still have an opportunity to bloom on Shabbat together. So will you join me, my voice of the piano with yours, in singing Tzadik Tamar.
On the bottom of page 27 is a marker between one part of the service and the next in place of the Chatzi Kaddish. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence. As you're able, and if you are so inclined, please rise for the Baruch Hu on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed.
Continuing the blessing between light and dark, we're singing the song Roll into Dark.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, another night. Roll into evening, day turns to night. Roll into evening, turns night. That fortune's day, day turns to night. Roll into another night. Roll into evening, day turns to night. Roll into evening, turns night. That fortune's day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
On the bottom of page 33, the footnote. Torah is what God has revealed to us and what we discern of God. Ideas and ideals, laws and mitzvot, our religious heritage. It unfolds our memories of Abraham and Sarah, of Moses and Miriam and the prophets. It is legislation and explanation, allowing questions that challenge, answers that inspire, all a quest for meaning. It is our way of life, a path for our souls, and the design for a better world.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol lebavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam בשבתך בביתך ובמלאכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Our next prayer is Micha Mocha. We always say that it's our song of freedom as we express as we cross the sea after coming out of slavery in Egypt. And now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more, I realize that it's kind of the song of not knowing how long your journey is going to be, right? It's the sense of freedom. We're free from slavery. We've escaped the Egyptians, and we have no idea that we're going to spend 40 years in the wilderness. But we do know that it's the beginning of our freedom. So we sing together Micha Mocha with as much joy as we can muster.
את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני כאן ישראל.
In a moment, we will be singing the ending of the Hashkivenu prayer on page 43. First, I'd like to share a poem with you. It's called A Blessing for Staying Inside, and it was written by Joyce Bartlett. May you find happiness in the small spaces, joy in the staying put. No highways, no office buildings, no crowded subways. May you find peace in your own kitchen. May your four walls feel like a sanctuary, haven from a noisy world. May you take pleasure in a bad pun, a bowl of popcorn, laughing with the people closest to you, patting the grateful dog, the clever cat. May you discover the delight of writing letters on paper and baking cookies, and the birds visiting your early spring garden. May you find yourself fully in the present moment, where all of life is happening right now, and worries about the future don't exist. May you invent ways to help people who need you, because times like this were made to remind us that we are all the same. Even as you wrap yourself in a blanket of solitude, may you discover the secrets of the universe from your spot on the couch. And may you be so well loved that others will rejoice when you are finally able to run into their arms again.
page 44, the celebration of Shabbat, V'shamru, U'bayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash. And on the seventh day, God ceased from work and restored God's soul. It's a neat translation. Vayinafash doesn't actually translate into restored. It translates into like resold yourself. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. הinu ve'in b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. The tefillah begins with the meditation on page 46 and continues on the next few even-numbered pages. And as you are able and inclined, I invite you to rise and face towards the east, which for me is that way. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מעיר אברהם בעזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ברופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה, ולמען אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. We continue silently together.
Would you please join with me in the Oseh Shalom?
Continue now with Misha Berach, prayer for healing. Give for prayer for healing of body, healing of spirit. If you have a name that you'd like to add, please add it in the comments on YouTube. I'll share with you the names of the members of our community, our family, our friends, those whose names we know who are in need of healing. We know also that there are so many in this world today who are struggling with anxiety and fear and grief, with addiction and loneliness, who feel isolated, who are sick. We pray for healing for all of them. Pray for peace. Tonight we hold in our hearts Lillian Allen, Julie Arnheim, Millard Beloon, Jeff Clayton, Sher Hadassah Bat Avraham Vasara, Charlotte Davis, Celia Evans, Shannon Fisk, Richard Gordon, Joby Glessner, Jerry Hantman, Susan Harakel, Naum Kaplan, Hank Katzen, Lee Kramer, Liebe Kreitzel Batsara Bluma, Marcia Lucenti, Tony Lucenti, Robert Marcus, Daniel Nahas, Lev Podorovsky, Bill Richards, Karen Rosen, Michaela Shai, Shirley Shepman, Arnold Silverman, John Spear, Sally Sias, Tamit Say, Roger Wilk, Yochanan Ben Yehudit, Eileen Yanti. Continue now with Misha Berach in the middle of page 253.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu, Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. A few moments ago, just before we sang Vishamru, in the Hashkivenu slot in the service, we ended it with Haporez Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, may God spread over us a shelter of peace. I read the poem, A Blessing for Staying Inside, which is written by Joyce Bartlett. So I wonder what you thought of it, and I'd really be interested in hearing your opinions, your feelings. We put a prayer for staying inside in the service in place of the Hashkivenu, which is our nighttime prayer for safety and peace, as I said, spreading a Sukkot Shalom over us, God's Sukkot Shalom, shelter of peace. We put it there with the hope that that poem would bring you, actually all of us, some modicum of comfort. Where the Hashkivenu asks that God spread over us a shelter of peace, the poet writes, even as you wrap yourselves in a blanket of solitude, may you discover the secrets of the universe from your spot on the couch. This poem, as well as the others that we have shared since we began doing services physically separated, all these poems have meant to remind us to recognize the blessings that surround us, even or maybe especially when we are at least inclined to notice them. These poems have all been sort of comfort food. Comfort food, reminding us to recognize the blessings around us. It's especially important right now in the middle of a global pandemic, a crisis, a world crisis. Even now, the poet tells us, even now, we may take pleasure in a bad pun, a bowl of popcorn. So while I'm likely never to take pleasure in a bad pun, I could go for a bowl of popcorn. But here's the truth. I am not particularly flourishing in this time, and I know that many of you are not either. Many, or maybe there are those among you, and I would count myself as one, who has not found, as the phone, I haven't found, and I imagine many of you have also not found, as the poem begins, happiness in small spaces. I am not, and maybe you are not either, finding peace in the kitchen. I mean, there are so many people in this house, and for some reason, we all have to eat at least 3 times a day. It's just terrible. I have not, and maybe you have not either, necessarily, consistently, or even once yet, discovered the secrets of the universe from your spot on the couch. Rather, I related instantly and wholeheartedly to the article Molly posted this morning, written by Carrie Parnell. Here's an excerpt from that post, from that article. She writes, to date, I have not written a word of my best-selling novel. I have not learned a new language. Unless you count imaginative swearing, suing a video of my family singing show tunes in the hope it goes viral. Excuse the pun. She continues, what I have done is desperately attempt to combine working from home with homeschooling and entertaining my kids, read Stopping a Punch every 12 minutes, taking a daily plod along the same route we've trodden for weeks, cook seemingly endless meals and worry about needing a seemingly endless supply of food while becoming increasingly paranoid about going inside a supermarket. It's not flourishing. When our worship team talked about reading that prayer or poem, A Blessing for Staying Inside, during services, I shared my concerns. I talked about how when I hear something like this, I feel pressure to be doing this pandemic better. I feel kind of inadequate and anxious, not all warm and gooey, when I put off cleaning the living room day after day, and I imagine, I told them, that others might feel that same way too. But then after thinking about this poem for a day or two, I began to see that the poem, like Hashkivenu, is aspirational. We yearn to feel the safety of God's Sukkot Shalom. We may not feel it, but we want to. We yearn to feel the warmth rather than the painful grip of solitude. We may not feel that, but we want to. The poem expresses hope that we will one day feel at ease, or more at ease, that we will one day feel peaceful. Have you seen the Twitter post that admonishes if you don't come out of this quarantine with a new skill, business, or more knowledge, you didn't ever lack the time, you lacked the discipline. To this, Carrie Parnell, the author of the piece Molly posted, retorts, if you come out of this with your sanity, you're winning. If you come out of this with your sanity, you're winning. I think that's pretty sound advice. It's healthy and realistic. We are living through a lethal global pandemic. We are not staycationing. We are staying at home in order to save lives. It's hard and it's sad. Dreams are being shattered and lives are being lost. To Carrie Parnell's excellent advice, I would add only this. If you come out of this with awareness, even for one fleeting minute, that there is blessing as well as pain in this world, you're winning. We recognize blessing. We recognize pain. There is blessing in all of life. Just notice it for 1 minute. Or if a minute is too long, notice for a moment. There is blessing in celebrating a young woman's becoming a bat mitzvah, wherever the bima is, in the sanctuary at Road of Shalom or in the Goldberg kitchen. Mazel tov to you, Nev, to your parents, Beth and Eric, and to your entire family. There is blessing to Shabbat in being here with all of you through the very real blessing of technology. Shabbat Shalom. May we aspire to even just one moment of Shabbat peace. Shabbat Shalom. We turn now to the counting of the Omer. As I mentioned a couple days ago on one of those crazy videos, we are counting the days from Passover to Shavuot, the time of freedom from slavery to freedom to be able to worship God. We mark that time, those 50 days, by counting the 49 days in between, leaving Egypt and receiving Torah at Mount Sinai. So if you'd like to follow along and count, it's on page 278. We begin with a blessing. Also, there's like a little game that we play. We remind ourselves of what yesterday was, and then we just in our heads add a day. So we don't say the day until we've counted the day. That's the game we play. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sfirat haOmer. Hayom tisha yamim shehem shavua echad u'shnei yamim Omer. Today is the 9th day, which is 1 week and 2 days of the Omer. We continue now with Aleinu. It's on page 282, and it's our tradition to rise.
As we're able and as we're so inclined. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי ארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. On page 285, let the time not be distant, O God, when all shall turn to you in love, when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when superstition shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. O may all created in your image become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We turn now to Kaddish. The prayer book is on page 294. Our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and all those whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us: Shlomit Harel, David Levy, Arthur Koval, Odell Bloom Nathanson, Marta Rock, Miriam Schafel, Bill Smith, Richard Thibault, Milton Tenenbaum. We also acknowledge the yahrzeit, the anniversary of the death of these beloved family members: Herbert Asherman, Zachary Kaplan, Norma Davis, Morris Fruman, Michael Kaplan, Frederick Oringer, Margaret Osofsky, Ann Spindell, Faye Task, Virginia Zern. If there are any other names you'd like to add to the comments, please do that. It's customary to rise for Kaddish. We're going to unmute ourselves here and all participate. Yitkadav, Yitkadash Shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Ma divra pirutei v'yamut ha'putei. V'chayachon u'v'yomechon. V'toyei d'kol beit Yisrael. V'gala u'kman karev v'yimru amen.
Amen.
Hey Shmei Rabba. Barak Yitzhar v'Shalom v'Kasa. V'Tadar v'Shalom Shmei v'Mishra v'Rcha. Leila min kol birchata v'shvachata v'nechemata v'yiran v'yama v'yiru amen. Yesh lama rabba maya v'chaim aleinu v'yiru amen. Oseh shalom b'mama v'yaseh shalom aleinu v'kol Yisrael v'kol yashvei kogal v'yiru amen.
Shalom b'Rama, uyaseh shalom. Alinu ve'al Yisrael, ve'imeru. Amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm going to share some announcements for the week to come. The Torah and the Times class, which Rabbi Bisno leads, is now going to be weekly on Mondays at noon. So you'll be able to join us and talk about the news from a Jewish perspective. On Wednesday, we have a really exciting program from our archivist, Martha Berg, who is going to be sharing the parallels between our current epidemic with COVID-19 and the 1918 flu epidemic. And what the Jewish response then was, so that we can learn from that and hopefully find some inspiration for the current day. That's Wednesday. The Shalomogram contains the information for the weekly JJEP and youth group events, which there are many of for many ages and also for parents. So if you're not receiving the Shalomogram and you'd like to, please let us know through most emails on the website will let you connect you with somebody who can help you out there. And we are counting the Omer in our Shalomograms as well. And we are accepting submissions for folks who have some thoughts to share about this time. So we would love to see you there. I'm going to bring everyone's video up for our final song and then invite the Goldbergs to share Kiddush and Motzi.
Goldbergs, led by Nev Goldberg.
Ba.
No, I think you're doing it. Go ahead.
No, can you do this?
Baruch.
No, you sing.
You got it.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kichanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'achava u'ratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki banu v'harta v'tanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha v'achava u'ratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. I was clapping for her. Jeez. Nice. Get off of me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen. Is that it?
We can't hear them.
We can't hear.
You're okay. I kept talking, but the mics were off. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. The link for the Zoom oneg, our virtual oneg, is in the description for the video on the YouTube. So if you'll scroll down, it's also in the Shalomogram. We'll see you all over there in a few minutes.